The never-ending story. Let's step into the on-deck circle.
You're listening to the DFS On Deck podcast, brought to you by LineStar App, the top-rated DFS tool set and #1 companion for DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo Daily Fantasy. Go LineStar Premium now at LineStarApp.com. Now, here are your hosts, fantasy baseball experts Joe Pisapia and KC Bubba.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and welcome to On Deck right here on the LineStar app. It is me, it's KC Bubba, and it's you, and we got a great show for you as always. Today, we'll be breaking down the slate, get you all the names you need to know, and we started the week off right. I told you it's a special moment when the two hosts of this program go yard with the same dude, and I'm telling you right now, it could even happen again today, so stay tuned. But we certainly got the start out of Patrick Corbin we wanted. We certainly got the outing from the Mets we expected. And I would say the game stack with the 20 runs in Colorado was pretty good. And Trevor Story made good on the promise. We made a pact with Trevor Story yesterday here in the program, Bubba and I. He was our home run call. We got the home run. Boom, first at bat. Bingo, bango. Easy peasy, right, baby?
Yep, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So good. It was a beautiful thing that I didn't even have a chance to check the score yet, and we're already getting messages that, hey, that was easy. So, yeah, it was beautiful stuff.
Yep, that's right. I did too. I knew because somebody messaged me on Twitter. Yeah. That's how I knew. They're like, well, it's over and done with. I got a message from somebody. I was like, oh, good. Well, look at that. How nice. So hopefully it'll be that easy again today. But look, we'll do a quick fly around. You know, we were a little hesitant. We were tempted. We didn't go with Hauser or McCullers. And for the same reason, like McCullers ended up being better and rebounded, which is great, which is why he's going to continue to be a guy that floats in that GPP realm, at least for now. And then, of course, you got Hauser, who wasn't as good. So that was our fear. But look, we certainly were all in on Corbin yesterday. The Nats pounded the Mets 16-4. We also keep talking about the value in those lineups of the Nats, too. You know, guys like Miguel Cabrera, guys like Castro, guys like Howie Kendrick, you know, these guys just make a lot of contact, and contact equals points because they're on base. So keep that in mind. It was a ton of runs in that Red Sox game, too. 15 runs, a lot of runs last night, baby. It was a big scoreboard. Yep. 20 runs in the Mets game, 15 runs in the Red Sox game, 20 runs in the Rockies game, which was just tremendous. Calhoun had a home run in that one. Marte had 4 hits. I mean, it was just brilliant offense. Exactly what we wanted. Can anyone stop Randy Dobnak? I mean, he doesn't strike anybody out, but man, this guy's just a win machine right now.
He's an SP2 machine over and over again on DraftKings. Just keep plugging him in that mid 7K range.
Yeah, I agree, man. I can't talk about it on the TV because we're a FanDuel show on television, so I can never mention like, oh, by the way, he's a really good guy to have as a secondary pitcher. But on the FanDuel side, just can't do it. Like, there's not enough upside with the Ks, so it would be like a short like. If you're isolating an afternoon slate or something like that, you know, like the 1 o'clock games and he's on it. Okay. Maybe I could do that. That's possible. Just get the W if you don't like the other pitchers. But the Astros won last night 6-4. So McCullers no hit ball into the 7th. That was a really important start for him. Back into our good graces. We said we couldn't get a feel for the Rangers Mariners game, and we absolutely could not. Kyle Seager hit a grand slam. Kyle Lewis and Dylan Moore also hit home runs in that one. So the Mariners won 10-2. Who saw that coming? I don't know. No.
Well, real quick, I want to say something about that one.
Yeah,
it came on the radar about an hour before lock because they announced they're going to open the roof at 100 degrees in Texas. Yes. So that changed things just a little bit. But yeah, I'm with you.
Well, and now that we know that too, with the open roof, I think that is something to keep in mind. Bubba, dropping the knowledge is always here in the program. Keep that in mind going forward because, when you get news like that, if you want to make some adjustments or get some shares, clearly there were some balls flying out yesterday. So, again, something to consider. Also, how about 19 runs in the Angels and A's game? Holy crap.
Yes, indeedy.
Oh, what? Just all this offense. I'm exhausted. Dustin May pitched well. He deserved better. Dodgers, boo. The only thing that didn't go our way, Dustin May did not deserve a loss. Boo. I'm booing you, Dodgers, as Bubba is one to do his entire life.
All the time.
Just
whenever I feel like it.
We're very used to do that. All right. So that was yesterday. That's in the books. Today, it's a new day. Yes, it is. So let's get after it. In the 6 o'clock games today at 6:37, you got Ryu and Eliezer Hernandez facing off with the Jays and Miami Marlins. You've got Chris Bubich against Luis Castillo, who got pounded in his last start. I'm going to let both these games go, Bubba. I'm okay not playing the all day on FanDuel today, but if I did, I do think Ryu has some appeal. He was really good in his last start. I think the Marlins are beatable. A lot of strikeouts here too, potentially. So if Ryu's back on track, he becomes an interesting GPP play in the all day. But that's about it for me. That's about where I draw the line. Are you making any case for these 4 teams and playing in the all day today?
If you're playing all day, I think Ryu is very interesting. The other thing I would keep in mind is I believe this game's in Buffalo, and the ball flies a little more out of Buffalo. So they've shown the dynamics there and everything, and the wind's blowing quite heavily in the Northeast. So I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist, but check that one because
I don't know, man. You might be. You sound like one.
These Jays bats are heating up a little bit, so you could go there, but I'd rather just play the main slate.
Yeah, I would agree with. I just tend to look elsewhere tonight. There's enough good there. You don't have to, because when you have more games, you add more variance, and the only time you want to do that if there's something that you really love, and that's you say, oh man, this matchup is dope today. Like the Wheeler matchup we're gonna get to in a second. I don't care. I'm playing that everywhere. It could be 100%. I don't care. I'm like Jay Cutler smoking a cigarette. Zach Wheeler. Zach Brown band, Zach this. I don't care. Just give me Zach Wheeler tonight. All right, let's move on here. Let's start with the Braves and Yankees here. Touki Toussaint, 7.4 against Jordan Montgomery, 6.8. That's the FanDuel pricing. You're going to have to pick a side here because on DK, Toussaint's all the way to 8.1 now. Montgomery, 7.9. These are 2 good offenses and, 2 pitchers who are capable of having decent outings, but I'm going to favor the offense here. Are you in love with any of these 2 pitchers tonight? Do they have any use for you?
Montgomery only has an SP2 and a GPP because the Braves, as they're heating up, but they still strike out literally 35% of the time.
They do, man. Now. That's a good point, man.
There's really upside there on DK.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. Looking at the DK pricing here, once again, you're not getting much quarter here with the Yankees. Everybody's basically 4 and above. Same thing with the Braves. On the FanDuel side, a little bit more leniency. Aaron Hicks, if he's hitting in that 3 hole again, is 2.6. Luke Voigt at 2.9. Gleyber Torres at 2.7. Torres has got to get hot. It's only a matter of time. Just keep plugging away at this because it's going to pay off of it. It's going to hit. It's going to. He's going to hit. It's going to hit. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Anything else to contribute here on the Braves side of the ball tonight?
The Braves side, no. They're pretty pricey. Like Swanson's not bad, but they're all expensive. So I'm kind of staying away, it feels like, even though it's that game with a very high total, and I know it's going to happen, but I'm avoiding it.
Yeah, Travis d'Arnaud at 2.9. That's the only other one I would point out there too. Another more of a contact guy. If he's hitting that 5 hole, I could get behind that with Montgomery, the lefty on the mound. So that's one that, you're talking about good values, guys under 3K, guys you can use as lineup builders and budget guys. I think he kind of pops to me in that lineup. So for me, it's d'Arnaud, it's Hicks, and Torres. Those are the pieces to get as far as I'm concerned. And DJ LeMahieu at 3.7 is a decent value. As crazy as that sounds, at the top of this order, the guy's just going to score points. He's just a point machine. I think he's got a really safe floor every day of points, which is nice. Next one. Here we go. This is it. Circle this one, baby. I'm all in on this one all the way across. Zach Wheeler, 9K over on the FanDuel side. He is more expensive on DK's 9.9. So I will use this against the Orioles, and I will use it in cash. I will use it in GPP. I will use it everywhere, Sam I am, because tonight, yes, Scherzer is on the board tonight, but what if that hamstring creeps up again in this game? Like, it's a terrifying thing to me to think about Scherzer in cash. I almost like Scherzer more in GPP because of it, whereas like, well, maybe I get that huge monstrous Scherzer start and people are a little afraid and they wouldn't want to put a pitcher with that kind of salary in the GPP. But tonight, I think Wheeler's the guy that I'm going to use in both. We've talked about this sometimes in the program. Some pitchers, especially in the single pitcher site, that you could take that lineup and just drop it into GPP and at least cash with it. I think you can tonight. I think the Orioles are that bad. And I also think that Zach Wheeler is in a good position tonight here with the Phillies. What say you on this one, Bubba?
Yeah, I think Wheeler's a very, very strong play. Pitching overall tonight's not good. So
no.
There's going to be a lot of chalk, and you just kind of take it and differentiate with your bats. Use the variance there. I think Wheeler's in a great spot. The Orioles can sneak up on people every once in a blue moon, but lots of strikeouts in that lineup that Wheeler can exploit.
Yeah, I mean, this looks to me like a 6-inning, 7-strikeout kind of game for him. Even if he gives up a couple runs, I don't care. The path to the win is there, even with the crappy bullpen.
Definitely.
I just think they'll be up by enough. Like this has like 6-2 or 7-3 written all over it. Alex Cobb, by the way, on the other side of this one. Also love Harper tonight at 4K. That's the bat I want to pay up for over on FanDuel. On DK, he's 5.4. Need I say more? Real Muta is also 5.2 in that lineup. Gene Segura is just down to 3.8, by the way. Jay Bruce also has got some GPP appeal because, he always hits a home run whenever you least expect it. 3.7 for him. He's just 2.7. So is Segura on FanDuel. So these are guys on both sites that are kind of reasonably priced, and Didi is just 3.1. So it's a good home run friendly ballpark. Get in on the Phillies, get in on a Wheeler. Don't overthink it tonight. This next one here, Adam Plutko, 6.4 against John Lester, 8.1. Those are the FanDuel prices. On DK tonight, Plutko 6.2. Lester's 9.2. Now, Lester doesn't have any strikeout appeal really anymore. The stuff is not what it used to be. I'm not going with either one of these pitchers personally, but if I did lean away, I would lean towards Plutko as a secondary arm tonight against the Cubs. Do you think that's crazy, or you think that's actually a guy you can work in with a Wheeler or a Scherzer tonight?
If you absolutely had to, he's been okay early on this year, but in the past he just gets spanked by lefties. Really gets hit hard. So I'm trying to avoid Plutko, and I don't know how stretched out he is because he's starting because Clevenger got put in the no-no room after.
He deserves it, but everybody,
yes,
the tone deafness of these guys is staggering. And then people wonder why. Well, why is college football in trouble? How about because we can't get the professional grown-ass men athletes to just go home.
Follow some simple rules. And then the worst thing with Clevenger is he goes and sticks up for him on Sunday in a team meeting, flies back with the team after all this. He's just a dum-dum. He is clearly cleaning it up for the podcast here. I can tell you this. If LineStar said to me, Joe, you could do this game with this show with Bubba for 2 months, but when you're done with it, we're going to pay you X number $1 million or whatever, or even let's say 100,000. Let's just say 100,000. Okay. 2 months, 100,000 every time you're done with the show. You got to just go back to the hotel room. I'm good with that. I'll get my Switch. I'll get a whole bunch. I got my Netflix. I'm good. I'm good. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. We could do that for 2 months. Yeah, that's no problem at all. Pretty easy.
So by the way, LineStar guys, if that's on the table,
just a thought.
I love Franmil Reyes tonight against John Lester. I just want to point that out. He is really reasonable, 2.6 over on FanDuel. Carlos Santana is going to move to the other side of the plate at 2.7. They're going to get a discount on him. You also got Luplow possibly in this lineup tonight too at 2.1. Lots of discounts over on the Indians. So I don't know, man. I think with the Indians, you can make some money tonight with these bats because Lester is not, Lester is very hittable at this point in his career. The hits per 9 were way up last year. So keep that in mind. Let's go to the next one here, Bubba. Gio Gonzalez, Tyler Alexander. We're not even going to talk about the pricing of the pitchers. Let's talk about the offense. How do you attack this one? Because I'm sure you're going to want to tonight. Yeah,
you're going to attack it with the Detroit Tiger bats for starters because Gio Gonzalez is hot garbage. But Nico Goodrum is swinging a very, very good bat, only 2.8 on FanDuel. He's cheap on DraftKings as well. Miguel Cabrera is cheap. Jacoby Jones is cheap. There's a lot to like on the FanDuel side of it. Even Victor Reyes is playing well if you need to punt at 2,400. Austin Romine's a nice cheap catcher on both sides if you need to. The Tigers give you a lot of value against a very, very bad pitcher. Tyler Alexander is decent, but he's not going to go deep, and then you get the Detroit bullpen. So if you want to go in with the White Sox, that's fine. Just don't plan on it being a lefty the whole time with them. So it's a little different, but I think both sides are attackable here. I like the Detroit side for value. Ride them while they're hot. CJ Cron got hit in the knee yesterday, so not sure if he's playing tonight.
Yeah, keep an eye on that one for sure. Also, it's funny, whenever we get on the FanDuel stuff, you look at, Goodrum at 2.8, Cesar Hernandez 2.8. There's some guys at the top of these orders. I mean, even Andrew McCutchen at 2.4 in some, games that we expect some runs tonight. Man, there's a lot of discounts at the leadoff spot tonight. Just something that I've seen as a trend lately. It's good to take notice of these trends because you can use them in your favor. When you look at the DraftKings
cash games, especially for cash games,
100%, man, because you're getting some volume, you're getting some floor, you're getting some salary relief. They kind of tick all the boxes. On DraftKings, Goodrum is 3.9, another decent salary there. What do you think of Miguel Cabrera on DraftKings all the way at 2.4? I understand the batting average isn't there, but he has hit a couple home runs already this year. Yeah. Do you take the shot here against Gio? Is this the perfect shot to take if you're going to take it with Miguel Cabrera tonight, or is it just not enough juice?
If you're going to take it, it is. It's definitely. I've looked at him almost every day against these bad lefties they've been facing because he has 4 or 5 homers this year, like you said.
Yeah, he's got home runs.
You're only playing anything else. Yeah, you're only playing him for GPPs. You're playing him to hit home runs, so it's boom or bust. And so I don't hate it, especially at that price point. To open up, if you're going to pay for Wheeler, you're going to pay for some big, maybe Coors bats or something. He does help a ton.
He's cheaper on DK than he is on FanDuel. And I'm pointing that out just because, like, usually that's never the case, even with a discount, and I understand the price structures a little differently, but the percentage is what we always like to point out here. But on a night like tonight, when you're trying to get a Scherzer or a Wheeler or somebody like that, having that kind of guy just makes it just plug it in, man. All right. So speaking of Scherzer, let's get to him, because this is a dicey one for me tonight, because Porcello's, speaking of gas cans and hot garbage, I know he was better in his last outing against the Nats, but he just faced them. So that's not always the best thing when a guys get more looks at you right away. Keep an eye again on Andres Gimenez if he's in this lineup once again, too. I keep telling everybody, taking over Cano. I know it's Scherzer, but still 2.1 is a free square. If he gets on and steals a base, who knows? But look, most of the time, we're just going to fade the Mets tonight, as you should. Last night, they just scored a ton of runs here. Porcello, obviously another guy, gives up a lot of hits. So if you want to go at Juan Soto tonight, pay up, that's fine at 4-1. Trey Turner 3-2, Howie Kendrick at 2-5. Cabrera was playing first base last night. It's Trubo Cabrera 2.9. What a jack of all trades he is. So let's get to your feelings here. Scherzer 10.7 over on FanDuel, 10.8 on DK. Do you feel comfortable with him in cash tonight? If he says he's good to go, do you trust that, or is there something in the back of your head where you almost feel like cash games, there's a little bit of risk there, because if that hamstring does tighten up on him or something happens again, he comes out of this game in the fourth inning, you just basically just handed over the game. You handed over the night, basically.
Yeah, and that's the problem I have. He's GPP viable for sure, because we know the ceiling that Scherzer brings. We've seen him bounce back on things after injuries. I can't do it in cash. I'm just too nervous. Like that hamstring deal,
it's not
one
worth
little
it.
tweak the wrong direction. It's not worth it when you have a Wheeler and other options tonight.
Well, and also because you're talking about the upside, right? So what's the chances of Scherzer going for a complete game shutout after a hamstring injury? Very little.
Yeah, not very good. He's probably going 6, maybe 7 at the most.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, exactly. Like if he pitches well, they're going to go, good, great. Let's get you out of here. We're going to get a W. Let's move on. It's not like we're just going to leave him out there to just go the rest of the game. I don't see that at all. All right, we got the Raisin Red Sox again. Can they match, the 15 runs they went last night? We going back into this one again?
Yes. Martin Perez is pitching, Joe. Martin Perez is pitching. This is a very, very cut and dry situation here. Meadows actually played well yesterday. Still expensive on DK, but guys I'm looking at in a big way, Hunter Renfroe. He's cheap on both sides, 2,800 on FanDuel. He's a big one against lefties like that. And then the other player I'm looking at, if you want a value, he usually hits second against righties. He's 2,300 on FanDuel. I believe he's 33 on DraftKings. Mike Brosu. Lots of pop hitting second in that order. He's a second baseman for super cheap.
Brosu. I like that.
He's a bro.
The Brosu. I think Josh Lynn Bloom is a bro, but again, I'm just afraid of the Twins, and the Twins make me lose sleep at night. I can't imagine opposing pitchers. It's 7.3. It's very tempting on FanDuel. On DK at 5.8, also very tempting as a secondary pitcher. I can imagine a lot of people wanting to go this route, especially with guys like Scherzer and Wheeler on the slate. I get it, because of whatever they're facing tonight. Was it Tyler Clippard and then what? Like I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Smeltzer. He's Smeltzer and Delter.
So look, it doesn't mean that the Twins can't just turn this into a 10-8 slugfest. So I just want to be clear with everybody. But that being said, Yelich is starting to heat up a little bit. I know he's 5.3 on DK, but he's still 4.3 on FanDuel. Are we ready to go back to paying the premium for him, or do we continue on with Keston Hiura and Smoke and guys around him?
For now, I'm still going with Hiura and company, but Yelich's really close. I don't know if tonight's the matchup to go all in on Yelich just yet. I could regret that in about 12 hours, but that's definitely, I'd rather go the Hiura route. And just real quick on Lynn Bloom, I think he is SP2 viable just for the strikeout upside and his price point. It is risky as I'll get up, but I think he's definitely viable.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, it just is, man. What about the Twins tonight? Any love in particular for somebody with this matchup?
If you're going to attack him, you're attacking him with lefty. So Kepler, Rosario, you can Marwin Gonzalez, cheap stuff along those lines. It's just he's done well at limiting the hard contact early, but it's the Twins, so you can't go wrong.
All right, Zach Gallen 7.1 against Kyle Freeland. Now, normally I would actually even be interested in this, because every now and then you get one of those Coors nights where it's like a 2-1 game because you get a good pitcher who's just feeling it, and Zach Gallen could be that guy. However, I'm not going to do it tonight either. Like, and this is another one too, where you want to talk about secondary arms. He's 8.6 on DK. That's pretty expensive for a secondary arm. So I don't know. I don't know if I could do it there either. I think I'm just going to pass. Question is, do we want to go down to I don't think he scored 20 runs tonight. Freeland's actually pitched better this year too. Gallen's pitched better. Is this a night to fade away from the Colorado Diamondback game, or are you going to double dip and just let caution go to the wind here?
I am not as in love with this game as I was yesterday. That's for darn sure.
No, me neither. I'm glad you said it.
These guys have both been decent. Like, it's Coors, so no one will be shocked if you wake up and it's 12-10. But this feels more like a 6-4 game where the bullpen kind of got hit around late, and that's really not going to help anybody out. I'm not saying don't go to it, because you can definitely attack Freeland and Gallen, but it's not as much of a you have to invest in game tonight.
No, I with you. Yesterday, if you go back and listen, and if you missed the program, again, you don't have to miss a single one. Just subscribe wherever you get your podcast to the On Deck MLB LineStar DFS show. And you can, boom, every morning when the show drops, you can listen to it. We're in and out in a half hour. You can go later on, set your lineups. You feel like you're invigorated. You feel strong. You feel ready to go. But yesterday we were so in love with that game with Robbie Ray and all the circumstances around it, and John Gray and Grays and Rays. And oh my God, 20 runs later, it was everything we asked it to be and more. Tonight, not as much. Tonight, I think I'm with Bubba. I don't want to pay for it. I'm going to move along a little bit. Let's go back to this well in Texas. So if the roof is open again, are we going back? It's got Marco Gonzalez and Mike Minor on this one. I'm not paying for either of these pitchers, that's for damn sure. But from an offensive standpoint, I mean, when does Kyle Lewis stop hitting? Does he stop hitting this year? Or is it just going to be like
everyone wants it? Everyone wants him to.
Yeah,
but he hasn't.
3.1 on FanDuel, it's a better play than on the DK side, but it ain't bad. I mean, Mike Minor's not that great.
No, Dylan Moore, 2.6 on FanDuel. I like the Mariners again tonight, because I'm with you. It's Minor has his goods and his bads, but what he does him so well for fantasy is he strikes guys out. He still gets pounded more often than not in the game. So I think, and Seager hits lefties well, and he'll be super low owned. I think Seattle's a decent little spot to attack tonight. I'm hoping the roof's open, but that's a good spot to attack. And if you're using the Rangers, this could be like a game stack to pivot off of Colorado. Marco Gonzalez, a reverse splits guy. Gallo hits lefties well. So don't go all righties on that one. You can go with the Solax, who's hot hitting second and whatnot. But don't forget that lefties hit Gonzalez very well in his career.
Now, on this next one, I think this one's a little bit of a trap here. Brandon Bielek is making his second start. And I know he was pretty good his first one, but the K rate is not something great. The bullpen is a little bit of a mess for Houston. I feel like this is like a letdown. People are going to see this, they're going to go into it, and they're going to like it. Do you like him as a secondary arm on DraftKings at 7.5 though? If as a standalone arm, forget it. I am not doing this. I think this is just a so slow death you're going to take on yourself. But what about on DraftKings as a secondary arm? Do you have enough love there for him to get the W here?
Yeah, that's the thing is he went 82 pitches last time, so I'm guessing he'll go about 90. In the minors, he was a 24 to 25% K guy with a 44% ground ball. So I'm hoping it was just kind of a first big league start situation. And he's facing a bad Giants team that kind of helps him out a little bit there. Going more than 6 is going to be tough. You're kind of hoping for 5, leave it to win, and hope the bullpen holds. And that's tricky with the Astros right now. But secondary arm, yeah, I'm going there.
Yeah, I would agree. All right. Anything else here from this game? Because I don't know. This is another one for me.
Gurriel's just cash game cheap every night.
Every night, every day we're here. It's 2.7,
both slates,
2.8.
Both slates.
Yeah.
43 on DraftKings, 2.8 on FanDuel. Every night he's cash viable.
And every night he's hitting the 5 hole. I mean, it's just with a high contact rate. He's got a little bit of pop. He doesn't have the same kind of if you think he's going to repeat the home run numbers from last year, then you're drunk.
You're crazy.
But he's always been a good contact guy. He's always been a 15 home run, 290 kind of hitter. That's exactly what he's been. So that's a good one. This one I struggled with, and the more I went into it, the more I decided to stay away from it. Ross Stripling at 8.3 was really appealing at first sight. 7.9 on DK. I like it more as a secondary arm, but as a standalone pitcher tonight, I'm a little afraid of, some of that thump at the top of the Padres lineup. These games are really tight. The Padres are out there really trying. They are competing, and Ross Stripling is a good pitcher. This is like a trap, because I think if you go and you see this game on last year's slate, you circle it and highlight it and you go, yep, this is an easy money here. I don't think it's easy money anymore. I'm not saying Stripling can't pitch well tonight and be good and get the W. He can. It just has a lot of risk. So for me, I'm out of it because I'm starting to see 4 outcomes in this game. And when I see 4 outcomes, I run the other way. Bubba, what do you think about this one?
Definitely a 4 outcomes game. Stripling can be SP2 viable, but I agree. It's definitely a 4 outcomes. The only thing going in Stripling's favor, he can be a strikeout guy, 7 or more Ks in 2 or 3 starts. One of them was against the Padres. and that can help him get the fantasy points for you. But it is very tricky because we love the Padres on this show, so it's very tough to go hard on them, especially in a single pitcher site.
Yeah, I'm just going to fade away from it. All right, last one. Dylan Bundy is back at 9.7 against Mike Fiers and the Oakland A's. Hey, look, I'm confident in Bundy right now. If you want to, get weird, or you want to, just isolate the late slate, I'm fine with going Bundy against the A's. The ownership's going to be low. The A's are a really good offensive team. Is Laureano going to start the suspension today? Like, I don't even know where we're at.
I think he's going to fight that for a while. And he's like a brother from another mother for, I think, our little crew, Joe, because the comments he had about why he talked trash to that coach was amazing. So it was
Alex Cintron, I mean, of all guys, like Alex Cintron was like one of the great AAA players of all time. You know this.
Yep.
I know this. Like, he was this dude who's like, oh, you look at these numbers. He's like a PCL star who could never transition to the big leagues, no matter what. And I think did he go to Japan or something too and have a big year?
I think he tried a little bit of everything and it just didn't work out for him. He tried to be Mr. Baseball too, it just didn't work.
No, so he's here. Mustache, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's the first thing.
Such an underrated movie.
It is. It's a pretty good little movie. Tom Selleck could swing the bat too. Let me tell you.
Oh, sweet lefty smooth swing. It's glorious.
Very, very nice. Very nice there. So look, I would go into Dylan Bundy here, which means I'm fading away from the A's, which we never do in the program. Yep. We hardly ever do this, but even if you don't want to get involved with Bundy, I would still fade away from the A's tonight. I just don't think it's a great play. Trout's expensive. Anything else you want to put into this one?
I like Bundy as a GPP pivot off the Wheeler for sure. I think he's very, very viable, like you said. And I'm good with stacking the Angels against Fiers. He's bad. I guess could be a late night hammer for you. And Shohei's heating up, so don't sleep on him.
All right, boys and girls, it's that time once again to go yard. Bubba and I are going to pick a guy who's going to leave the ballpark tonight in a good way. In a good way. Not like leave the ballpark and go visit friends or go out to dinner or a bar. We mean hit a home run. Last night we were both on Trevor's story. He hit that home run in the very first inning of the game. Put that one to bed. We were both right on that one. Let's see if we can double dip again tonight. Bryce Harper is my name tonight, Bubba. I don't care what the price is. I like the opposition here, Alex Cobb. I like Bryce Harper. I want to see Harper go yard tonight, so he's my pick to click. Bubba, who's leaving the yard for you tonight? Who's going yard?
I like the Harper call. I'm just going to go with some guy that's only hit like 5 home runs in the last week. I'm going to go with Mike Trout. He's just hitting everything right now.
I've never heard of him. I've never heard of him.
Is he any good?
Is he new? Is he new?
I think he's a new dad. I don't know.
Can you imagine if his wife had twins, how many home runs he'd be hitting?
Oh, man. So many double dongs.
So we went very chalk tonight on the big names, but hey, it's about being right. If you're going to pay the premium price, you might as well be right on that price. Otherwise, it can hurt you. So Bryce Harper for me, Mike Trout for Bubba. We'll see who's right. We separated tonight. Yesterday, we were both on Trevor's story. So today we're going to go head to head yet again. And again, if you retweet this segment over on Twitter, you can win some free stuff and reply to it as well at LineStar App and give us your home run call and get involved in the dance with us. Let's call your shot. You think you're big time? You want to play with the big boys? Come play with us. We love it. We love doing this show for y'all. All right. So that's going to put this one in the books. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at LineStar App, at LineStar MLB. You can also follow Bubba at KC Bubba and me, Joey P, at Joe Pisapia 17. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe to the program as well. Click that notification button. That way you know on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Google, wherever you listen to the show, you know exactly when the show drops. You can start making your lineups and start kicking butt and taking names because that's what we do here. That'll do it for me and Bubba. But the story of the game goes on. There's nothing left to do now except step into the batter's box and go yard. We'll see you next time, kids.
You've been listening to the DFS On Deck podcast, brought to you by LineStar. Hit subscribe, tell a friend, and stay tuned for the next episode from fantasy baseball experts Joe Pisapia and KC Bubba.